Each precious face, each heartbreaking story will stick in one's mind, as it has with Craig Sawman Sawyer. His story begins in the middle of the Arizona desert, where Sawyer engaged in an intelligence operation with his camera crew. This footage filmed for his documentary titled Contraland.
Do you think she's there, or do you think she's at the village house?
There's a good possibility.
Sawyer was a Marine sniper and a member of the elite Navy SEAL Team 6. He's a 54-year-old highly decorated veteran who's been to hell and back fighting international terrorists. Now he's entered a different hell on American soil.
I started feeling like someone was kicking me in the heart. I mean, it hurt to see what's being done to the kids and how big it is, how pervasive it is.
Among the crew, another former Navy SEAL. Sawyer formed Veterans for Child Rescue Foundation and recruited an elite force with world-class skill sets, FBI, CIA, Delta Force, and SEAL Team 6, to extract victims and thin the herd of sex traffickers. The crew traversed one of the most heavily trafficked corridors in the U.S., Vehicle Valley in Pinal County, where many go undetected as they make their way north of Pima County.
So you think we're being watched right now?
Yeah, I would guarantee it. I would guarantee it. There's pimps and there's bulldogs that watch anybody that's coming in and alert them, and they hide the children.
While on their way, sometimes, to staging areas, like this abandoned house where traffickers sell children to gangs for sex slavery.
Sickeningly enough, a child is considered an asset as far as how much it's worth in revenue when they sell a child over and over again, because, again, that's part of this. You can sell a narcotic once and it's consumed. Sadly enough, you can sell a child victim repeatedly.
And the price tag can be high. Each girl can sell between $100,000 to $150,000.
There's a lot of staging point here. There's a lot of ingress and then staging and then distribution from Arizona. So that's part of what we're facing here.
Another part, Sawyer says sex trafficking happens in plain sight in our own backyard, literally, in Julie's case.
People have the idea of sex trafficking is it's always the person's being stolen or kidnapped or brought in from overseas, which that does happen quite a bit, but it's not always the case.
Julie does not want her identity known, but shares with us how she became a child victim in her Phoenix suburban home. She says an immediate family member groomed her for sex trafficking starting at age 6 and then sold her for sex after she turned 11.
First time that it happened, it was my trafficker took me into our backyard and had gentlemen lined up in the backyard and basically was like, how much would you pay for her? And then it was one by one we were taken in my room.
It continued over and over until Julie turned 18 and ran away from home. She remained a deep, dark secret in her neighborhood, never on the radar for a rescue. Sawyer says his team's unique background in military intelligence could be crucial to cases just like this, ending with children snatched out of their never-ending nightmare. His team is working in tandem with local and federal law enforcement agencies from California.
Did Dan just go on foot?
To Connecticut.
And they are allowing us the authority in their area to run these operations.
Last month in Guilford, he ran a joint sting with police. Sawman says the team targeted potential sex predators they made contact with through social media. 500 responded in less than 24 hours. 5 showed up, including 44-year-old Kevin Millen. Watch as the documentary crew captured him entering a 2-story home. He's met by a decoy, an investigator on Sawyer's team, posing as the mother of a 13-year-old girl. The girl, sitting on the steps, is another decoy. She's actually a 20-year-old woman. The team waited in the garage until given the go-ahead to move in and make arrests. During Millen's arrest, the room went silent after Millen announced he's a Fed, an IRS criminal investigator. Sawyer says Millen had his federal badge and credentials with him. Police made 5 arrests.
It's an emotional roller coaster to deal with this, but it's important that we understand as a nation. And we're going to show the extractions. We're going to show the arrests. When they are recovered, there are some fantastic aftercare programs that really nurture the children and help them recover through a list of different ways. And thank God, some very caring people.
Such as Tucson police officer Sarah Hott, who's building an equine ranch, Beauty from Ashes, to provide a sanctuary for recovery.
We as law enforcement don't have anywhere to send them. They end up right back in that life.
Sawyer shudders to think that would happen.
He says this dark, disturbing story of child sex trafficking must be told because it'll take the collaboration of all communities to help eradicate it.
We have to address it so that we can clean it up. It's like cancer. You can't look away from cancer and have it go away. You have to face it. You have to deal with it. It's painful, it's difficult, but it must be done. And that's what we're trying to do here.
The documentary Contraland is slated to be complete this summer or early fall. Meantime, we'll continue to follow the making of this documentary and the impact on child sex trafficking in southern Arizona. Valerie Cavazos, KGA 9 on News.